everybody, how's it going? We're here with the Mood Mkii. There was a conversation that was being had, a great one by the way, on a different video where I was showcasing a complaint I was finding with all of Chase Bliss's small boxes here that are stereo. The Lossy, the Mood Mkii, the Generation Loss Mkii, and the Rev Mode C, the Reverse Mode C. And that was that when the MISO switch is on, MISO meaning mono and stereo out, and you're sending a stereo sound in, the stereo in kind of gets summed a little bit, but then you get some really cool sounds out of the Mood because it's expecting mono in, stereo out. So like on the delay, you get a ping pong delay on here, but then you turn the MISO off and you don't. And you can watch the other video, but I thought like the conversations were all around what does this actually do in stereo. So I thought let's spend a minute and let's figure this out. I've got the Von Gon polyphrase set up here as a little stereo ping pong if we need to use it. I'll also be disconnecting the right sound or the ring here so that this is actually only receiving mono. I've also got the Loss Mkii X that's going to act as a mute and engage the tuner. So let's start out just by showing you what we're doing here. Turn both these guys off. Turn every dip switch off. And let's just hear a little sound here from the Von Gon. Or even with the Von Gon off, dry but stereo. So, with the Mood on, it's currently, again, no dip switches are engaged. We have a TRS in with split monos out. So it's actually getting stereo in, stereo out, and we'll start with stereo. We're going to spend some time kind of going through all the settings here. So let's start with Reverb, and here is what it does by itself with all the dip switches off. Let's listen back to the Von Gon. This kind of gives us a sense of what the stereo input sounds like when you're doing it this way. Very neat. Von Gon off. Because we're sending stereo in, we're going to skip straight to the spread switch. Turn that on. And what do we get? Now with the Von Gon on, sending a stereo ping pong. Alright, let's turn the Von Gon off, and I'm gonna, you know what, since we're here, since spread is already engaged, let's turn the MISO on. And let's see what the MISO sounds like with a stereo input. Because I mean, if you have this on your pedal board and you're running a stereo signal, and this is in that stereo signal, there's a good chance that at this point in time, even with the MISO on or off, you're not switching cables. It's going to be a stereo in. So MISO on, spread on, and Von Gon off. So. Von Gon on. Alright, let's turn the spread off and just the MISO on. With a stereo thing, Von Gon off. Von Gon on. Okay, so let's pause real quick and see if you can hear what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is the Mood here is expecting this to receive a stereo in signal. So it's expecting this just to be a TS, meaning it's only kind of getting the audio from the tip. But because I have the ring engaged, still plugged in, it's getting both. And what it's doing is it's taking what it's getting from the tip, and it is basically duplicating that on both left and right as it goes to the output. So it comes in, splits to dual mono, so to speak, out of the tip only, gets the effect, and gets spit out like that. But because the brain, so to speak, in this is not expecting to see anything from the ring still passes through. It still gets affected, I believe, but you're basically getting what sounds like it, instead of it being left-right, it's kind of like left-center, if that makes sense. Let's see if you hear that. So that's with MISO on. Let's turn it off and see if you can hear it. Now, let's mute this guy right here, and let's take out the ring input, and let's hear what this all sounds like with actually only sending a MIDI, a mono sound. So here is with the Von gun off, and gonna kind of keep the Von gun off for this because we're just getting mono. We don't need to hear a stereo image from this to hear what we're hearing. So mono off, but sorry, MISO off, but spread on. And does that make a difference? Okay. Now spread's on. Let's turn MISO on. And let's see what we get. This is where you'll hear a definitive difference here. Spread off, but MISO is still on. Pretty nifty, huh? Well, all right, so let's jump over to the delay side on here. Everything off. What are we getting, MISO? This is a mono in. We're kind of not doing it the exact same way, but you know, a method of it here. Delay here, of course, coming from the Mood. The Von gun is off. Let's turn the MISO on. Now let's turn the spread on. And what do we hear? That's when you get the luscious ping pong. So MISO on and spreader on are both on for this guy. Love that. Love that. Let's take a quick second here and let's access one of the hidden features, and let's just see if we can hear a difference on here. I find that this the stereo sound is, especially in the ping pong, sounds the most. You get the most definition out of the delay here. So I'm going to push both of these bad boys down. They light up green. The time becomes a stereo width all the way down here for me. And what sound do we get when you turn the stereo width down? Now, let's turn the stereo width up. You may have just heard something there as it was going, but... So, that's that. We'll leave it there. So you're going to get a sense of kind of what the stereo width is at full blast on this one here. So I'm going to put this kind of back where it was. And I'm going to mute real quick. put the ring back in. Take a coffee break. Be right back. All right, so we're going to leave these engaged, both MISO and spread, but we're sending a signal in, and we'll work our way back. Ready? So here we go. Oh, unmute. Thank you. Spread off. MISO still on. Let's turn MISO off because it is actually getting a stereo signal. Oh, whoops. That's why I was doing that earlier. So let's hear this with the Von gun sending a ping pong into this. I love double delays. Okay, now with the MISO off, let's just see what we hear here with the spread on. Again, we'll turn the Von gun off. Okay, now the Von gun on. All right, good times. Let's move on to the slip mode, and let's see what we have. Well, we're already here, so let's hear what this sounds like with the spread on. So stereo in, spread on, MISO off. Let's do some time. Let's get this kind of into a... Hold on. I want to find exactly this kind of where I want this to be. So stereo on, MISO off. Now what's it sound like if we hear the delay from the Von gun? Very fun. Alright, so spread off, MISO off. So alright, now let's turn the Von gun on. Von gun off. Okay, so we're here. We're going to do MISO back on because that's where we are. And MISO on, but still receiving a stereo signal. Okay, so let's turn the Von gun on. What do we have? So it's receiving a ping pong stereo signal from the Von gun. MISO on, spread on. This is with the Von gun still on. Turn the Von gun off. So, gonna mute real quick, and I'm gonna pull this out, the ring out. So here we go, mute off. So now it's receiving a mono signal in, and spread on and MISO on. Von gun is off. Let's turn spread off. So just MISO on. Again, don't need the Von Gon to be sending a stereo signal because it's not in stereo anymore. Very neat. All right, so MISO off. Now it's only receiving a mono signal, but MISO's off. What does it sound like? MISO off, spread on with this. I think that does it for us. Okay, so that really concludes this portion here, and I'm going to stop right here, only because you know we've spent about 16 minutes together, and I want to see how this has been for everybody. And so here's what I'm going to ask: if you've liked this demonstration here, if you've liked what we've got going on, but you want to hear the microloop side in this manner, comment. Let me know. That's how I know. I want to know that I'm making the videos that are being wanted, that are helpful. That's the point of this here, is to make something that is helpful to the community. So, like, subscribe, comment, and even more so, if you do enjoy this channel and what's coming out of it, support us. There's ways to do that here on YouTube, to join our community, you know, and to be, I mean, really one of the voices into what's being produced here, what kind of content we're making, so that it is the most helpful to the most people. So that's what we're here for, and I think that's it for today. Again, if you want to hear the microloop side, let me know.